Hey, what is up you guys? It is Moist Andy, and today we're going to be working on a video tutorial series how to do the 3D character modeling using Blender. So, crack a cold one and we'll get started here. So this is a pretty nice bowl. I've been working on this last night. I tell you what, I swear, look at this bowl right here. It's a nice big muscly bowl. And in here we got this high-res object right there, and you could tab into edit mode with this, and you can see it's got all these polygons. Look at this. We got 226,000 faces, polygons. That's the resolution that I'm working with here. So I like to go, like when I'm sculpting, I go to the properties menu and shading, and then I can turn this to solid and then hit matte cap. What this allows me to do is like see like the contours of how the mesh is deforming and the directions which the light's hitting it. And this is a nice red plasticine color with a slight green tint on this edge, you know. And then this is like a candy apple red. And then this is like a blue car paint color, and this is like a nice, I like this one because it just shows you the direction which the light is hitting the object. And you could even get like a nice big brass bowl with the nice, you can really appreciate the anatomic realism in the nice big brass bowl balls. That's pretty good. But yeah, that's just what I was doing last night. We on to a whole other project. Actually, while I'm here, I'll show you these textures. We got these textures here. They were so this is the main thing here, the albedo or the diffuse map, whatever you would like to call it. It just shows you the colors and different things. It's nice and high res. I did have to blend out a lot of stuff in Photoshop, and it's actually not all completely finished up. And then you have this normal map. What this allows it to do is it's generated using that high poly sculpt, the 226,000 faces, the polygons. We bake a normal map from those. You can see like the impressions that are there. But then on top of that, I put like a height to normal program from the texture albedo, and I just blend in the red and the green channels slightly in Photoshop with like a levels, kind of like using it as like a modulus, and that's just how I was able to do that. So basically, let's get started here. Let's go and look for, well, I've got here some background image I can use, and somebody has given me some feedback and suggested that I should go ahead and work on a tiger right here. Yes, absolutely. So 3 on the numpad, 5 to go into orthographic view. There's my tiger background image. That's a pretty good reference because you see it's sort of like tilting its head, like slightly facing the camera, and that's gonna work if it's just facing to the left. And then you use your 3D cursor as like kind of a guide here. Bring that thing up to like 30 inches tall. Just estimate roughly how tall would a male tiger stand in the African savanna. Well, I would say it's about 30 inches tall right there. I tell you what, I swear, we move this, we scale it up, we do whatever we got to do to it to align the image, get the center of the mass from nose to tail right in the middle. Very easy. And get the feet on the green line. Just tilt it slightly, move it up here. Small adjustments. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but you know, this is how it's gonna look in game when we port it to the game engine later on. So I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that this is about the size of a tiger in real life. So I can go and I can tab into edit mode, and I'll just move my block up this much right here, scale it, just move it wherever, scale it along the Y, and maybe just do like this, just to begin sculpting on some kind of an object here. So we could hit the K. K is a snake hook. This is a hotkey for the snake hook. Adjust the brush size with F. F will let you get any kind of size you want. Hold the shift to smooth. Hold on. Enable Dentopo first. Okay, so that'll enable X symmetry. You see, it's equal on both sides, left and right. So you can hold shift to smooth and drag around with the K snake hook tool all you want to. I tell you what, you could get this rounded out, you know, get like a round tiger torso shape. And again, you know, just turn on your matte caps, go to the properties, and in the shading matte cap, just check that and do whatever you want. I like this one. This helps me see like which direction is the light hitting on my mesh. It's very helpful for me. So I'm gonna hit the I key. That's my inflate tool. That's pretty good. It's useful for certain things like heads and necks. That's pretty good. That's gonna work. Now I just gotta constantly look at my reference image, so I know where to bring down those feet now. I'll bring them down just right here, just right there, and right over here. This is how the feet are going to be situated on this sculpture. This is good. It helps also to bring that background image to the front. So what you could do is just hit front. You could adjust the opacity as you want. That's fine to visualize what we got here. So it's getting there. It's getting a little closer. Just make it a little more narrow in the back. Another nice tool is the clay strips tool. Just hit the number 3. That's good to allow us to add in some bulk, some chunkiness, and hold the control key to sink the mesh in where you need it to go. So that's gonna work for us. That's pretty damn nice. I like it. Like, you just move this. This is like the rib cage here, and sink this in, and then use the K tool maybe a little bit, like right at the spots like this. Smooth with the shift. Get like a rough sculpture, and then you move on to the head. So the head of any kind of cat, kind of big game cat animal, is going to be kind of like sort of triangular shaped, sort of like this. The skull comes down here. Maybe use the clay strips to get it more accurately adjusted, and definitely take a look to readjust your proportions and stuff with the reference image. Use a bigger brush size if you got to, just to align everything up using your reference. This is a good reference because it's kind of like in a side, just like a straight side view pose, pretty much. So I'm using my inflate tool right now to bulk out these paws, especially down at the tips, where it's like kind of like more of a club shaped the further you go down. Use my snake hook K tool. Just move the paws apart a little more, like a spread stance. Yeah, like this. Inflate tool on these hind legs. Just getting a rough shape. Getting that knuckle right there where I need it to be. At this point in time, I'm just gonna make my tail, and you could smooth a little bit slightly to slim it down. You can just hit shift, hold shift down, and it smooths it down for you. So that's working well for like a basic like tail. Like, look at the length of the tail, just try and simulate that. And inflate tool, if you have to, just do a tail like this. Okay, for right now, I think this is roughly lined up where it has to be according to the reference image. Just a rough estimation. I think it's not too boxy in most areas, and it's working. So I can actually increase my resolution to about 6 pixels, and that enables me to kind of zoom in here with a clay strips tool, see exactly where I have to add in the details, and like I could sink in the shoulder blades in the middle here, decrease the size of my brush, make like kind of a spine there, sort of. That's good. That's gonna work. So you see the triangles that it's making is smaller now. That's the main idea for all of this. Get these triangles all situated. You could hold the shift key, smooth things out as you go to get rid of like these triangular edges you see. And now we're just transforming this gradually to match more of like how the reference image actually is, and to just recalibrate all these shapes. Like this, it has to be way skinnier. So get this snake hook tool and check your reference image and just move it into position. Then this neck is way taller than it is on there. So then this chest is sinking in there. And I got to take a clay strips tool on these paws, like here. And there. So you want to use very slight taps, just like you're drawing a picture, using your graphics tablet. You can't do this without a graphics tablet. This is impossible to do with a mouse. You have to go out and spend a little chunk of cash to get a graphics tablet, especially if you plan on doing this like as a hobby or to make a career out of this or something. Like, don't mess around getting it with the mouse. It's not going to work that way for you. Nobody does that in this particular form of art, this 3D art. Everybody got a graphics tablet, you know. That's what everybody doing. So you can see we get these cheeks right here. That's got to be thicker. The chin is bulging a little more here. And get the snake hook tool to sort of bulk out some portions to get like the face of the tiger looking a little better. I'm going to use the inflate tool and then the clay strips tool to fill in some of this, and then I can use this to sink in like some eye holes for me. Another nice tool is the crease tool. Hit the number 4 and then control click will help to bring out a ridge, and just using the crease tool without control does like a pinching type of a thing, and that's gonna work. So that's pretty good there for right now. Don't spend too much time in like one place in the model. You want to move around and sculpt as you go along everywhere, and definitely pay attention to like major like things like this. I didn't notice before. I gotta drag some ears up and out, like get some of these ears and just make a flat indentation in the center of that. That's gonna work for me for some ears for this tiger. Check your reference. Okay, so the ears are kind of a little broader than that, a little bit like this. Okay, so then just moving up and down with the clay strips, like adding details where you think you'll need them to be, where you'll necessarily need to have more resolution in some places than in others. So that's the main idea. You could actually check how much resolution you're adding by switching into the wireframe if you want to. That'll just show you exactly how many triangles you're putting in, or you could just pay attention to this number up here. It shows you how much you're really adding onto it. at one point in time that's gonna show you exactly how much progress you're making. So I gotta go here, sink this in a little bit, and do like this, smoothing as I go along by holding my shift key down. And I just gotta draw out some thickness here, some muscles here, you know. Just try to estimate, use your best judgment. You don't need to get a whole lot of reference images. If it's something like that, you know how it looks like, you just gotta sort of guess. It's not really guesswork, because you got this one reference image here. You can see exactly how it looks in like one perspective, but that's just what I gotta do for right now. Now on things like this knee right here, you could draw it horizontally with the clay stripes, and that's pretty good to work as like getting like the thickness of the knee into position. So that's just like basically how you sculpt in Blender, and I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial series. I'll get back to you soon, and we'll get onto the retopology, like wrapping a mesh all around this thing so it can be textured and animated. So this has been Moist Andy. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.